like what Joe Budden was basically talking about is owning the infrastructure.
Gotcha.
So he was like saying, like, while your podcast is great, you're still a branch in the tree when you could have just been the whole tree and the branches.
Yeah, but okay. So I'm disappointed in you.
Well, hold on, let me bring it home by how Jeff Bezos hit a eureka for me. I was watching his videos late at night during my heartbreak after crying, and he was like, he said, you know, what I'm trying to do with his space company. He said, what I'm trying to do is be the infrastructure of the space. Because he's like, we already made our money off of the postal infrastructure. He's like, we use the internet infrastructure. These infrastructure are already built. He's like, but what if we create the space infrastructure for people to go do all their genius things on whatever? I was like, damn, that means they can have a tax on that motherfucker. I was like, that shit can be like the U.S. Postal Mail Service of the space. And you know how much money he gonna collect off it? That's how Mansa Musa got rich, because of the trade route that he created throughout North Africa into Europe. That's how he became the richest man in history.
Cool.
And I was like, Joe Budden was motherfucking right. Charlamagne should have focused on owning infrastructure versus leveraging opportunity for himself and others. But got tricked into another deal with iHeart. So they're going to have him on the Breakfast Club for 10 more years.
No. So
talk to me.
You got to understand, when you speak about it from a certain point, you have certain luxuries, right?
Yeah.
Everybody. So Jeff Bezos started in a room, basically, right?
Yeah.
Amazon and shit started in a room. That ain't everybody's starting point, right? I was just watching.
He started in the room, but this motherfucker was making like well over 6 figures as an executive before he started Amazon.
Right. He quit. Of course, like he quit his job and then he started investing.
Quit a highly lucrative job.
But before let's do Tyler Perry, for instance, right? Mm-hmm. Tyler Perry didn't always have infrastructure to do what he wanted to do.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't, because he didn't have his own theater. He had his ideas.
Okay.
And then he partnered with these people to get it out there.
No, you're right.
So you can't blame, just like you don't blame Martin. You want to give credit to both Martin and Malcolm for the different ways that they moved about going to the same space. You gotta say Joe Budden ain't all right or all wrong. Neither is Charlamagne. Because what you did was, and Charlamagne talked about this, I signed a deal with them, but it's a lot of these people that he put in that are on these platforms, they're not giving their content to iHeart. They're not giving they partnering with them, very much like Joe Rogan, who has the largest platform, who Joe Budden don't want to compare his stuff to because he's white. He partnered with him. So for this amount of time, you can have my stuff.
But the difference is that Charlamagne, and listen, I support both of them again. I'm just raising my beliefs on this. Charlamagne, he talks shit. He kind of downplayed the fuck out of Joe Budden's moves, but saying how he's loud and disruptive and how it's fucking up his potential contract. And Joe Budden said, we're not having the same conversations. And he's right, because Charlamagne's having a conversation of being a content owner and creator. And Joe Budden is speaking from a perspective of being an infrastructure owner.
Right. But if somebody flip homes and if somebody own different properties, I can't shit on either one of them.
Exactly. But that's the thing. He was shitting on Joe Budden initially.
Well, he was shitting on Joe Budden about the way Joe goes about it. Mm-hmm. Because you can't.
That's why Joe said we're not having the same conversation.
Right. Joe, the way Joe talk is funny. We are not having I have an issue with the issue that most people are having, and that Charlamagne is expressing, is the issue of how we go about it. He's saying that ain't the way I'm going about it. Charlamagne would make jokes about him his contract being up, but Charlamagne ain't talking about the negotiations and ain't talking. If you don't want to work with them, it's almost like one person is taking Jay-Z's route and one person is taking Dame's route. Dame was loudly, Jay-Z just made his moves. Dame is loudly expressing his discontent for the system.
Right, but you gotta appreciate both.
Right, so there is no right.
Yeah, but as long as Jay-Z not coming out talking down on Dame Dash's perspective, that's where
No, it's not. It's that if Jay-Z, it's like Jay-Z saying, "I don't like how loud he is."
Yeah, but it's
complaining
like,
about. of infrastructure that he's investing
but
in.
it wasn't just that. But Charlamagne was also throwing little subs about the Tahiri shit, little subs about fucking dogs. Like, and again, I fuck with Charlamagne heavy.
It was,
but it's just that he was making shit. I was like, if y'all really homies or y'all cool, cordial, had some type of truce behind the scenes, that type of shit you got to stay away from, especially as black men. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe said that too. He's like, you be talking all this black man empowerment, camaraderie shit. You be texting me
I did hear him say that.
And then you get on the radio and say all kinds
let's
of
not
shit.
make it public.
Yeah, but you get out here and you do all these public like, you know, I ain't fucking no dog. Like come on, what kind of shit is that? You know what I'm saying? But you sit here feeding into this shit. So I feel him on that. You know, I feel that Charlamagne just should have been like, I think he should have took the high road. Not even the high road. He just should have been like, look, me and Joe really in the same fight for the same progression of our people. He just got a different approach to how he wants to construct it. And that's fine.
They basically at a roundabout going two different
ways.
ways.
I agree. I fucking agree.
But I know that Charlamagne had talked about he talked about how stubborn he could be sometimes. Like he said he had cancer and shit all the time. Well, no, I'm talking about with Angela Yee and the Gucci Mane situation. He said he just apologized to her.
Oh, really?
He said he just apologized for her about that. So sometimes it's him being stubborn and managing his own way.
I
think that
the
biggest thing. But he said they was out of the studio for so long.
How would you feel?
That was a conversation.
How would you feel for a female worker of yours, a woman worker of yours that was cool as hell, that you were cool as hell? Well, y'all might not be best friends, but y'all was cool as hell. And you know, for your job, whatever, you was hanging or whatever, just hanging with another dude. And he was just talking down on that shit.
Really, what Angela Yee could have did was started the Black women aren't protected conversation there. I think that
you got to give her credit for that.
Charlamagne,
she did.
It's really
she could have, but she didn't. You got to give her credit.
I'm not giving credit because it would have still been a valid argument. The thing is, and I've talked about this a few times. When you're talking to, he's doing his job at interviewing. And like somebody said, like I think he had the conversation with this was a conversation with Vlad.
Yeah. And
so Charlamagne is talking, and Charlamagne is like, yeah, but I can't be accountable for what that person says. Now you know Charlamagne laughs at ignorant shit sometimes. So if somebody says something about somebody coming at you or somebody coming at one of my homies, I'm gonna be like, that's fucked up, and that's my perspective on it. When he's like, oh, she a bitch ass nigga and shit like that, that's one I think is different. Like I don't expect much from Gucci. I'm not expecting Gucci to be a gentleman. You seen how he was on the Breakfast Club interview. You know he got some mental issues, and I'm not excusing that. But I'm saying I'm not trying to reason with a fool. I'm gonna have a conversation about him with it.
So you want to say shit? That's what you're saying? No,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go deeper into it because it ain't like Angela Yee would stop the conversation.
Yeah, but I feel you. But it's not even just about Yee. It's about all the other black girls that's watching, that support you, that look up to you. You got to make a stance for them too. And for niggas that do shit like that, you got to make a stance against it. Like this shit is symbolic at some point.
But low key too, during that interview,
sometimes you can be diplomatic and all that, but sometimes you got to whip out the goddamn hammer on the nigga. I ain't saying you got to disrespect him or try to chest to chest with him, but you got to stand your ground too. Just like he's standing his ground, you got to stand your ground and represent for those that's fighting a good fight out there, you know, and put on for them.
What does that look like?
That looks like, you know.
What if, is it as simple as, all right, she ain't got to be all that?
No, it could be that, or it could be just like, you know, look, that shit kind of corny, you know what I'm saying? You know, I fuck with your music, I fuck with your way, we go way down.
That nigga scared
on some real shit, I just can't fuck with that.
That nigga scared of Gucci.
That's probably true.
Right. So that nigga wasn't.
I'm sure Wax was standing nearby, and that nigga Wax was thrown the fuck off too. So like he don't travel without security. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't a whole thing, macho. Like I said, and even you can stand up for yourself and for your people and be symbolic without trying to engage and make it violence. But this whole thing, that's what I'm saying. You got to sometimes stand up so other motherfuckers can feel stood up for, so they can be more empowered to do shit.
I'm a nigga who I be like, you know me. I don't share space with people who do. He in a different space where he interviewing motherfuckers and shit like that. So it's two things. It is if he say something disrespectful, it's like I gotta let him say it, and I can say what I need to say. All right, man, I don't support it. Now the problem that most people have was that Charlamagne was kind of kikiing about that shit.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But
he didn't take a stand for it. Is what I'm saying. Like, and again, I fuck with Charlamagne. I mean, and it's just that's a person thing. Period. You're not gonna always agree with everything they do, and you can still be a fan and support of.
And
but it's just that was just a sour moment. You know what I'm saying? It happens.
The problem with their situation, and we gonna get into the topic after this.
Yeah.
The problem with their situation is there has been situations where somebody would go at Charlamagne on the Breakfast Club in the face of
right, and neither Ye nor Envy stand up or say anything.
Right, and motherfuckers have pressed them in the studio.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I'm not justifying it, but I'm saying that speaks to the dynamic they already had. And you want somebody to go out of their character to defend people that you sitting in the studio with, and you like
defended you. Yeah,
but some people will say, it's because Ye wasn't there to defend herself. She wouldn't have did shit.
That's true.
She wouldn't have did shit.
That's true.
This ain't speculation. We've had situations where she didn't do shit.
All been like that in the studio.
Right,
even
they all been friends.
What's her name?
Keisha Cole.
Not Keisha Cole. The one who got the booty done and took the booty back out. The thick one.
I don't know.
Damn,
but I know Keisha. I think Keisha Cole's. Keisha Cole's pressed Ye one time.
No, it's not Keisha. Well, it was Keisha Cole pressing her too. But no, this was the one who called her out. It was like, not Chrisette Michelle. I forgot her name. She's the chick that was on Atlanta, Hip Hop Atlanta. Anyway, she came at the Angelique neck on the show. She's like, and you be sitting here all that fake stuff and all that kiki and all that, and you just let them do that. And she went in on
right. That's why I thought that was Keisha Cole.
Nah,
but
I say that because they all light skinned.
Just because they lighter than you don't make them light skinned. They just lighter than you.
What is she then?
Keisha Cole?
Michelle.
Michelle. That's what it was. You right. You right. My bad, King.
You know what I'm saying?
but yeah. So I think that's a good conversation to have. Yeah. I don't see there being an issue except for why you got to speak out on the way I do things. If it ain't hurting nobody. That's the only thing. Because everybody build different. I can't be mad at Jay-Z for not owning the infrastructure of a lot of the things he got because he worth a bill. I can't be mad at, you know what I'm saying? You got Tyler Perry who got a shitload of scrutiny.
That's true.
But he didn't. He been on infrastructure. He just expanded this shit in a way that more black people haven't.
Most people haven't. Yeah, that's a fact.
And because you got all them studios and shit.
Yeah, but even a lot of the studios they belong to like older companies.
Right.
A lot of movie studios out there owned by individuals or owned by.
That's some
some unique shit.
But